Oh, it's so wonderful you could join us for Arkansas Taste Kitchen. I start off with a confession. We had to start without you. Well, it's because this meal is demanding and that we had to go ahead and do things like start boiling water. But hey, this is going to be worth it. In the end, you wait and see. And joining me as always, we have Alyssa Frisbee, who is our nutritionist, Chef Robert, who is our just know everything about everything at all times.
I'll pay you later.
Okay, you're welcome. Today, we had to start because, well, we've got things that take so long to cook, Alyssa.
We do. We have a couple different things going on, and I think we can add magician to Chef
okay.
Robert's list because he's going to show us that even though we got started a little early, it's really not that complicated to make this crock-pot barbecue chicken, our crispy oven roasted potatoes, and then my favorite, some sauteed Brussels sprouts.
Ooh.
Simple, simple, simple. So this will be easy for you to do at home, for you to cook one more meal this week than you normally cook at home from scratch. It is.
That's the law.
We're going to go right into the crock portion of the slow cooker with a little brown sugar. We're going to use some garlic powder. It's important, especially for our health, that garlic powder, onion powder, instead of garlic salt and onion salt, right? Okay.
Here we go.
Here comes some already prepared barbecue sauce. You could see we're just kicking it up to make it mo better.
How is that healthy?
We're using a small amount of the barbecue sauce. We are enhancing the flavors with some of our other ingredients.
So this is an enhancement.
It's an enhancement for sure, but like many of our other dishes, you get to choose what barbecue sauce you're using.
There you go.
If you want to go with a low sugar or a no sugar, absolutely make that substitution.
Okay.
And we're stretching it really with chicken stock. Not so much that we're making soup, but it's going to stretch the barbecue sauce already there. So we add some chicken stock. And for this dish, make it really, really southern, we're going to add a little bit of heat with some crushed red pepper.
Bring it on.
Tiny bit.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to mix this all up. While I do that, Alyssa, would you get the chicken out of the fridge?
Yes, chef.
Alyssa is a former student of Robert's, and before she got her nutritionist degree, she was also an outstanding culinary student, and she won't let you forget it.
We're all experts here. All right, chicken. So we're using chicken breast today, which is going to be a high protein, lean option for our barbecue chicken.
No skin.
No skin.
No skin. And this is just going to go right into the slow cooker. And some of these are pretty big and
Again,
split.
how long is this going to cook?
So this is going to need 4 to 6 hours.
We ain't got that much time.
If you cook it on high, you're going to be closer to 4 hours, maybe 5, for the chicken to shred. The chicken will be fully cooked and edible in about 3 to 3.5 hours.
Oh, okay.
But if you're going to put this on a sandwich, we're not. But if you're going to put this on a sandwich, for example, you want it to shred 4 to 5 hours. On most slow cooker, high setting.
So slow cooker is the key here, right, Alyssa?
Right. If I wanted to make this recipe at home, I would definitely go the low and slow option because it allows me to do more in my day.
I'm going to wash.
Of course. I can
His hands.
set it.
Just going to wash it. Okay.
Safety and sanitation, especially
That's
with
right.
raw chicken, is so
Wanna
important.
Make sure. Just making that clear.
But I can put this on low before I go to work at UAMS, and I can just set it, and I don't have to worry about the protein being done at dinner.
And we're back.
One of our things that we emphasize is everything you see on Arkansas Taste Kitchen is affordable. Now this brings up, you've got to have a slow cooker. So if you've got one, great. But
There is an option.
okay.
You can put this in a casserole dish. You can cover the casserole dish very tightly with about 3 layers of plastic wrap.
Wow.
And then cover that again with foil. You have a tight seal on top of a tight seal on top of a tight seal.
Okay.
In a low-ish oven, about 300 to 325 degrees, and you have accomplished the same thing that you get in a slow cooker in a crock pot.
There you go.
I'm going to put this in our slow cooker that's just behind us. I'm going to put it on high, and we can come back in a few hours.
And through the magic of TV, we're actually going to be able to show you the final product and taste it, but we wanted to show you a process because, again, that's part of this show, Alyssa.
Right, absolutely. Showing how just a few small steps can get you to a very healthy, very complete, and delicious meal.
How expensive is this meal to put together? The Brussels sprouts, the potatoes, the barbecue.
The Brussels are a seasonal thing, and the chicken will depend on how much you buy, but the per pound price is about the same. Exactly what we're doing, you know, russet potatoes, very, very inexpensive. We're probably looking about $4 or $5 a serving.
Wow.
With large chicken breasts.
Pretty good. We, again, will have that price at the end of the show to remind you that the things we feature on Arkansas Taste Kitchen are affordable. Okay, Alyssa, we've got the barbecue chicken. It's cooking. What's coming next?
We have our roasted potatoes. There's a couple of techniques Chef Robert is going to show us to get those really crispy. And then we're going to saute some Brussels sprouts.
She's just giving you a preview as to what's coming up next on Arkansas Taste Kitchen. Don't go anywhere.
Food allergies happen when the immune system reacts to a specific protein. The 9 major allergens, egg, wheat, milk, fish, peanuts, tree nuts, shellfish, soy, and sesame, account for the vast majority of serious reactions. If you or someone you cook for has a food allergy, always read labels every time. Avoid cross-contact by using clean utensils and surfaces, and when in doubt, leave it out. Simple planning keeps meals safe and enjoyable. It's incredibly important to pay attention to ingredients on your packaged foods. It's required that all packaged foods list those big 9 allergens, and they have to be clearly identified on your food labels. Sometimes foods can surprise us and contain allergens that we didn't think would be in the food, so please read your labels every time.
You see, I told you we'd be back just in time to present the cutting board to Chef Robert.
Thank you.
Potato cutting time.
Thank you. I'm going to scoot it over just a little bit.
Okay.
For our roasted potatoes, we need to cut the potatoes.
Important step.
And the right way to do this is any way and any size you want this done. But I make planks. Just a few of those.
This is a fresh potato you're cutting through?
Yes, I'll leave that like it is.
Okay.
I like keeping the skin on. Does that matter, do you think?
It matters for taste and texture, but it also matters for nutritional benefits. So the skin on a potato is going to have a lot of fiber. It's also going to contain most of the potato's nutrients. So if you're looking for potassium, you're going to want to keep the skin on.
See, I've always thought and been kind of proud of myself that I kept the skin on a potato I eat.
Did it make you feel healthier?
Yeah,
Yeah, well, there's a lot of fiber in
Okay,
there.
all right, well, you didn't shoot me down on that one. That's good.
But you're learning.
This is going to go right in already boiling water.
Did you add salt to that water?
I did not.
No salt.
And
okay.
there's a reason. We already have good rolling boiling water.
Which we started before you all got here.
We're going to add salt to the oil mixture that's going to go on the potatoes. So the salt is going to be there while the potatoes are cooking in the next stage of cooking.
Okay.
And there they go. Wow.
And so that's going to take, that's probably going to take about 6 or 7 minutes.
This meal takes some commitment this time.
Now, Since I'm not doing anything with meat, just a simple wipe with a clean towel is going to be just fine.
Really?
As I go to the board with some garlic. Fresh garlic. You can buy bottled, jarred garlic that, you know, is already minced, that's packed in water is best.
Okay.
Okay. There's lots of people that argue whether you need to do this or don't. From a safety standpoint, if we give that garlic just a little smash, it's not going to roll around everywhere. Okay.
Good point.
I'm using my bear claw. I'm pinching the knife at the back side of the blade.
How are you going to bear claw the? You did. You bear clawed
The garlic,
garlic.
even the garlic. And I'm
Safety
just
first.
rocking the knife back and forth.
Oh, so you're cutting it again?
Like a choo-choo train. The steam engine train and that arm that goes back and forth up on the engine.
I think I can.
I think I
I
can.
like that motivation for beginners in the kitchen. I think I can.
This can be, if you're chopping it fresh, this can be chopped as fine, as coarse as you want to keep it. The larger, the coarser this is. When you bite into it, the more profound you're going to get some garlic. We're going to go to a pan that's already heated up a little bit.
There goes the oil.
There's some olive oil, and sometimes we spill things.
Okay.
And,
There you go.
we're going to do some, we're going to go in right with the garlic.
Okay.
First.
You changed your mind there, didn't you?
I did, just
No,
for
I
a
could tell.
second.
All right.
It is very, very, very important. I tell my students, listen to Chef. Chef is wise. Okay, it is very
Well,
important.
we're listening to you now.
Don't let the garlic turn brown.
Okay.
That's burnt garlic, and burnt garlic is bitter garlic. We don't want that.
Did you get that? Okay.
So we just start that a little bit. We're going to add some onion powder. We're going to add some parsley, some smoked paprika,
Okay, really good flavor.
Don't worry, you'll see a graphic. You'll see all this.
rosemary.
Rosemary.
Delicious. I'm going to use not quite as much salt as we have, probably about half of it for now.
Okay.
And then we've got extra salt reserved when you taste it, when it goes on your plate.
Salt
if
to
you want a
taste.
little, yeah. But I'll add the whole amount of pepper because that's really divine.
And here we go.
We're going to let this saute for till it's really fragrant. And then when the potatoes are done and drained, we're going to be ready to put this on the potatoes and in the oven.
Sounds delicious.
I got to step off over to our sink.
So we're not
to
going to get to see it.
drain the potatoes. I'll be back in a moment.
All right, and they're ready to drain.
Right, safety first.
Potatoes, does that detract from the health aspect?
Absolutely not.
Carbohydrates, starch, does that not?
No. Carbohydrates are a necessary part of most people's diets. Now, we do sometimes need to watch our carbohydrate intake throughout the day, but just because a food contains carbohydrates doesn't mean that we can't or shouldn't eat it. Everything in moderation. We're going to have these potatoes as a side to our healthy dish.
So what I've done, I've drained the water away. Still very, very hot. We've cooked these enough. They're cooked through, but we especially want them to cook well on the outside because I'm going to give it just a gentle little stir before we add our dressing or the
How do
seasonings.
you know it's cooked well on the outside? Are you eyeballing it? What are you doing?
So I don't know if everyone can see at home. I'm going to put this on here. We don't want to
Yes,
put a
chef.
hot pan on a. You
they smell
see
great.
the little particles of potato.
Yeah.
We're creating rough edges on the outside.
Okay.
With the oil and the seasoning here in our little season mix, that in the oven is going to make this extra crispy. This is a trick. Instead of just boiling potatoes or just putting plain raw potatoes in the oven, this is going to ensure crispy.
Man.
This sounds like a great alternative to pan frying or deep frying.
Oh, this is a
as well.
great alternative to
this
frying.
is
You
healthy.
get the texture, you get the crisp.
This is healthy. You
with
swear
that-
this is healthy.
Healthy. I do, yes.
Oil that's in here is olive oil, and it's not much.
And it's
not.
affordable.
Absolutely. Russet potatoes are extremely affordable and versatile. You
Y'all
can
gotta
use
try
them in
this.
a
This
lot of
sounds-
things.
I can't wait to see what happens next.
I mean, look at all that.
Fancy potatoes.
This meal takes commitment. You're talking about hours of cooking with the chicken and the boiling of the potatoes and all this.
I would consider this really, really easy, and it's not hours per se,
Oh,
but
okay.
it's, you got to start a crock pot in the morning. That's going to take 4 to 6 hours, but you're not there babysitting it. You got to
Right.
boil some potatoes. How long does it take? 7, 8 minutes
Yeah.
in the boiling water, so on and so forth.
Yeah. I think the most time-consuming part of this recipe, like a lot of recipes, is just getting your ingredients together and making sure you have everything ready to go when you need it, and then the recipe moves smoothly.
You could babysit the potatoes a little bit. And I say that because these are ready for the, would you put those in the oven?
Yes, chef.
These are ready for the oven. They can go in the oven and you come back in about 30, 35 minutes and they're ready to eat. If you're a textural eater and you want crisp all over the potato, well, you might want to go back and check it every 10 minutes or so and give it a little turn.
And in that case, again, you're eyeballing it,
You're eyeballing it.
seeing how crispy it looks on there.
It's cooked all the way through. So from here on, you're adding that brown color that you get on so many things you put in the oven, that brown color is delicious flavor. That is how we make nutritious food delicious.
That sounds so much better than the French fries you get in fast food places, and it sounds so much healthier too. Wow. We got one more chore though, because I'm eyeballing the Brussels sprouts.
You did not just call my Brussels sprouts a chore.
Oh, my bad.
Really? Are
My
you
bad.
trying to
Man,
make people
faux
not
pas.
like them before we even get started? Brussels sprouts they can be a little bit intimidating, especially if you grew up eating canned Brussels sprouts, boiled Brussels sprouts, things that are just mushy and soft. But Chef Robert's gonna show us how to make these Brussels sprouts delicious.
We're gonna use the same pan
Really?
that we made the seasoning for the potatoes, and that's gonna marry together all of the flavors for this dish that we're gonna have. You can have a clean pan. I wouldn't use another dirty pan. I would go with this, and so we're gonna add a little bit of oil, enough to coat the bottom of the pan. We're not frying these Brussels. Brussels sprouts, come round, okay? Our students have already done this for us, so you trim the little stem off and cut it in half. The outside leaves will fall off naturally. Whatever falls off naturally, just leave that. We don't need to peel anything else off, okay? And whether you do it one at a time or you pour
Just
these
pour it
in,
that's what I do. One at a time's a bit much, Robert.
we're gonna make a single layer,
Okay.
and I am gonna go back through and
You are not. You're going
Turn
to turn
them-
them all over?
cut side down.
We want these to be perfect, so
this
little
is
attention
a
to
30-minute show,
detail.
Robert.
Okay, well, there's a magical television
And students.
and
Right.
students.
So that caramelization, the browning that he was talking about in the oven, we're gonna get the same effect here, right? By putting the cut side down
Correct.
and cooking for a little bit.
That cut side is gonna caramelize before the outside does.
See, I love that in Brussels sprouts because I confess I love Brussels sprouts.
Good.
And when you fix them like this, oh my gosh, this meal.
We're starting this, and even if we don't get all of them, that's fine. We're gonna start this on a pretty high pan,
Okay.
and when we have all of that delicious sizzle going on, we're gonna turn it down a little bit to around medium.
Now you gonna.
I'm not.
Okay.
Ooh.
We're gonna trust the food. We're gonna let the food just do what it does.
Okay.
The voodoo that only it can do.
The Brussels sprouts speak to him today.
And again, we have to thank the students here at the Culinary Institute, U of A, Arkansas Pulaski Tech, and because they prepped it, and I think you need to give them a passing grade. It's not extra credit for what they did there.
Extra credit's probably coming their way.
Brilliant, absolutely brilliant.
As these cook a little bit, okay, we've got a couple other ingredients that we're gonna add to this dish.
Oh, okay.
Okay, we don't wait till the end, but we don't wanna start right off with some balsamic vinegar.
Okay.
When balsamic vinegar comes to the heat and starts to reduce, it'll get a little more like a syrup, and it gets sweet without adding any sugar.
This is healthy, right?
Yes, that's what
Okay.
I like to hear.
So we're gonna add a little bit of sweetness.
I love that sound.
Listen to
And a little bit of steam,
that. Almost like you're a wizard.
which is gonna help see it reduces really fast.
That's cool.
That steam really made those Brussels sprouts pop. That green color is very vibrant. Oh, look at how pretty.
Look at that.
And I'll show you one. Look at what we
yes.
have right there.
Look at that, baby.
How quickly that came together. I think this meal's about ready to.
What if you, okay, real quick, Brussels sprouts, can you give a substitute for?
Absolutely. If Brussels sprouts are still not your favorite, you can saute any fresh veggie. You could even substitute frozen veggies if that's what you have on hand. The technique will be a little bit different. You don't have to worry too much about cut side down and all of that, but you do want to take your time sauteing these veggies, building flavor. You can really use anything.
Well, that's all fine and good, but how's this going to taste? Well, for that, stick around. We'll be right back. Not too much talking now because I want to get right to this food and taste it. Beginning with the Brussels sprouts, Chef Robert.
So we got a little Parmesan cheese. In Italy, Parmesan cheese is frequently used as the salt.
Okay.
So the balsamic vinegar kind of implies a little, look at that already.
Oh, man.
Nice color. Alyssa, would you get the potatoes out of the
Yes,
oven?
chef.
Okay, here we go. Good gosh, there isn't a loser on this plate that we're about to see.
And-
the chicken, remember, has been going for how long?
About 6 hours.
Chicken's been going for 6 hours.
Right, coming in hot with the
Oh.
potatoes.
Great.
Beautiful.
Use about half of this parsley, and it's really just a garnish. It's going to make the potatoes look pretty. I'm going to get the chicken.
I like anything green that's also a flavor enhancer.
Make it look pretty.
Right.
I'm big on looking pretty, especially on TV.
You're gonna give it a
It's
try?
obvious, isn't it?
A little sprinkle?
Sure. And the queen. Crop dusting.
Beautiful. All right, save some for the Brussels sprouts too.
We'll put some of that on the Brussels as well, but they're already green, so you can
Okay.
put some more on the potatoes if you want.
All right,
And
Alyssa.
I'm going to reach in here. This can go on the plate shredded. This can go on a sandwich. Use a hamburger bun. Those are inexpensive, just regular sandwich bread. And look at this. I can just squeeze it with the tongs,
Beautiful.
and it just falls apart.
It's just wrong to get paid to do this. It's just wrong.
I hate my job.
This is so incredible.
That's so tender.
Look at that.
And if we do that in the sauce instead of taking the chicken out,
Right.
even some of that that's in the middle, we're picking up more sauce. It already has the flavor from it.
Good night.
We'll leave a few pieces so you can
Sounds
have
so
shrimp, you
good.
can have peas.
Excuse me, you need to know that this show's going to go on after we say goodbye to you.
That
'cause
for the
eating
potatoes.
will continue. Now, plate size, plate proportion, what are we going
Oh,
to see
let's
here?
go. Veggies first. Why not? Half the plate should be your veggies. We've got our Brussels sprouts. Let's get our crispy potatoes.
That's
Got
going
a
to go
nice
for one
spot for
quarter.
those. Ah. All right. Some chicken, Chef Cole?
Sure.
Everything just smells. So we've got to come up with a way to get the smell out into TV land, you know? This is phenomenal.
Is that about good
The
for
aroma.
your
Go a
serving
little bit more.
size?
This is Craig's portion, so we want to get a little bit more protein. And I don't want to hear any complaints, so
Oh, you're
I wanna
not.
make sure.
You're
There
not.
you
I can
go.
tell.
All right, round 2.
I got a fork, but I got to eat a 4.
Okay.
A 4.
That's 4 yums, right?
4
That's a yum,
yums.
yum, yum.
This is for me.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is phenomenal.
That is so beautiful.
Phenomenal. Remember this. Never forget it. If it's nutritious, if it's delicious, if it's easy to make, if it's affordable, it's Arkansas Taste Kitchen. Heaven on earth. Thank you for watching. Join us for more, and you're going to want more.
Additional funding provided by the University of Arkansas for Medical Sciences.